We all feel it sometimes. Like the world is on repeat. Like the news isn't new. Like we've seen all of this before. Another war. Another pandemic. Another revolution. Another fall. Same headlines. Same fears. Same patterns. And then you hear things like this: 1941 and 2025 share the exact same calendar. 1918 and 2019, same calendar, too. One had the Spanish flu. The other? COVID-19. That's not just coincidence. It feels like something deeper. Something strange. Like time isn't linear. Are we stuck in a loop? Let's start with the surface. The Gregorian calendar, the one most of the world uses, is on a 400-year cycle. That means, every 11, 17, or 28 years, dates, days of the week, and holidays line up perfectly. And sometimes, so do the events. 1918 versus 2019. Both years began with optimism. New technology. Global growth. Whispers of change. And then, out of nowhere, a deadly pandemic. 1918, the Spanish flu. Spread fast. Killed millions. Face masks. Lockdowns. Fear. Cities emptied. Theaters closed. People suspicious of strangers. The world grinding to a halt. 2019, COVID-19. Almost identical headlines, a full century later. The same fear in people's eyes. The same empty streets. The same debates about freedom versus safety. The same conspiracy theories. The same political divisions. Same calendar. Same chaos. Same collapse. But here's what's truly unsettling: even the responses were identical. Governments downplayed it first. Then panicked. Then overreacted. Then blamed each other. The same playbook, word for word, decision for decision. 1941 versus 2025. Both years start on a Wednesday. Same calendar. Same moon cycles. Same leap year patterns. And look closer. In 1941, tensions were rising. World War was escalating. The US would soon be pulled in by a surprise attack. Democracy was under threat. Authoritarianism was spreading. Technology was advancing faster than wisdom. Now, 2025 is filled with warnings. Global tension. Artificial intelligence arms races. Democracy under siege. Authoritarianism rising. Technology racing ahead of human understanding. A feeling that something big is coming. The same conversations. The same fears. The same sense that we're standing on the edge of something we can't control. Is it just history? Or is it repetition? Our minds are pattern machines. We want to see cycles. We need to find meaning. It's why we look at clocks. It's why we see faces in clouds. It's why we expect the future to look like the past. But here's the twist: what if we're not imagining the loop? What if we're in one? What if that feeling you get, that sense of, I've been here before, isn't just déjà vu? What if it's memory? Think about your own life. How many times have you found yourself in the same situation, making the same mistakes, having the same conversations, feeling the same regrets? How many times have you said, I'm never doing that again? And then done it again? We loop in our personal lives. We loop in our relationships. We loop in our careers. Why wouldn't we loop in history? In science, time feels simple: past, present, future. But in quantum mechanics, that's not always true. Some theories say time is a dimension, not a flow. It doesn't move. We do. Others, like the block universe theory, suggest that every moment in time exists simultaneously. Past, present, and future all existing at once, like frames in a movie reel. You don't move through time. You experience slices of it. And some physicists have explored closed time-like curves, mathematical paths where time can literally loop. It sounds like science fiction. But the math checks out. Einstein himself said time is relative. What if that relativity includes repetition? Now let's get weird. Simulation theory says, what if the universe isn't real? What if we're inside something more like a computer? If that's true, then everything we know is code. And code? Loops. Programs run the same instructions over and over. Variables change, but the structure remains. The logic repeats. Maybe history repeats because it's designed that way. A set of instructions, running again and again. To test something. To measure something. To see how we'll react, this time. Just like in a game, same enemies. Same map. Different player decisions. But here's the thing about games, they have levels. And you don't advance until you beat the current one. What if we're stuck on the same level? Making the same mistakes, facing the same challenges, failing the same tests? What if the loop continues until we finally level up? But here's where it gets even stranger. The patterns don't just repeat, they intensify. Each cycle seems to carry more weight, more consequence, more urgency. Like the universe is turning up the volume, demanding we finally pay attention. Let's pull the thread further. 1929 and 2008. Both had booming stock markets. Both had risky loans. Both had people convinced the good times would never end. Both had the same greed, the same shortcuts, the same willful blindness to obvious warning signs. Then crash. Recession. Collapse. 79 years apart. Nearly identical causes. Same outcome. Same devastation. Same people losing everything while the wealthy walked away unscathed. 1968 and 2020. Mass protests. Civil rights uprisings. Social unrest. Political division. Assassinations. Culture in turmoil. Both years had cities burning. Both had music, art, and ideas reshaping the world. Both had generational divides that felt impossible to bridge. Both had the same hope, the same anger, the same desperate need for change. It's not just patterns. It's like rhymes. And now, 2023 to 2025. We're seeing echoes of all of it. Pandemic aftermath. Tech disruption. Economic anxiety. Polarization. Disinformation. But there's something else. Something that wasn't there before. The speed. Everything's accelerating. The cycles are getting tighter. What used to take decades now happens in years. What took years now happens in months. What took months now happens in weeks. It's like time itself is compressing. Like the loop is getting smaller, more intense, more urgent. Social media cycles through outrage every few days. Markets crash and recover in hours. Governments rise and fall in real time. Information spreads faster than understanding. We're living through history at warp speed, but we're still making the same mistakes our ancestors made. Just faster. And underneath it all, that creeping feeling. Didn't we already live this? But maybe that feeling isn't déjà vu. Maybe it's memory. Maybe we have been here before. Across cultures and centuries, people have described time not as a line, but a circle. In Hinduism and Buddhism, life is samsara, a cycle of birth, death, and rebirth. You keep coming back until you learn what you need to learn. Until you break free from the wheel. In Mayan cosmology, time moves in great cycles. Ages that rise and fall, again and again. Each ending leads to a new beginning, but the pattern remains. Even in Christianity, there's the idea of revelation. A final reckoning. A restart. The old world ending, a new one beginning. In Tibetan Buddhism, the bardo is an in-between state, where souls pass through and return. In Greek philosophy, they spoke of eternal recurrence, the idea that time repeats infinitely, that we live the same lives over and over. These aren't just myths. They're frameworks to explain something we all feel. Time doesn't just pass. It returns. And in every tradition, there's the same message. We keep coming back until we get it right. Until we learn what we're supposed to learn. Until we break free. So if this is a loop, are we stuck? Or are we being shown something? Maybe we keep facing the same problems, because we keep responding the same way. War. Greed. Inequality. Neglect. Denial. Fear. Hatred. Division. The same human weaknesses, playing out on the same stage, with the same tragic results. Maybe the loop doesn't stop until we evolve. Until we break the pattern. Until we make a different choice. Until we learn. Because if we don't, time might just keep playing the same track. Again. And again. And again. But here's the beautiful part. Every loop gives us another chance. Every repetition is an opportunity to do better. To choose differently. To finally break through. Think about it. If you could relive a day, knowing what you know now, wouldn't you make better choices? Maybe that's exactly what's happening. Maybe we're all getting the chance to rewrite history. Not by changing the past, but by choosing differently in the present. Maybe the loop isn't a prison. Maybe it's the most generous gift the universe could give us, unlimited chances to get it right. Every war is a chance to choose peace. Every crisis is a chance to choose cooperation. Every moment of fear is a chance to choose love. But we have to recognize the loop first. We have to see the pattern. We have to wake up. Because sleepwalking through the same mistakes isn't living. It's just existing. Maybe time loops are real. Maybe they're metaphor. But either way, they offer us a gift, awareness. If we know history repeats, we can break the cycle. If we see the pattern, we can change our role in it. You don't need to control time. You just need to stop sleeping through it. Because if the loop is real, then every moment is a second chance. Every decision is a chance to step off the wheel. Every choice is a chance to write a new ending. The loop isn't the problem. It's the mirror. It shows us who we are, who we've been, who we could become. The loop isn't a prison. It's a message. It's saying, you've been here before. You know how this ends. So what will you do this time? Time may repeat. But we don't have to. We can choose better. We can act differently. We can wake up. Because the future doesn't just happen. It echoes what we allow. And maybe, just maybe, this time, we'll finally get it right. The clock is ticking. But it's not counting down. It's counting up. To the moment we finally break free.